This is Good Morning Mumbai with Hrishikesh.
It is the hijack team, yo. What's up?
What's up?
Now, lest you feel left out and you're the only lady in the room, let us not intimidate you. Sonnalli Seygall, you will be the first to speak and you shall speak the most.
Intimidated?
How are you doing? It's wonderful to have some grace in the studio.
Yes.
You know? Yeah? So, great one for women power and female emancipation that you're playing a pilot.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so what do you do in the cockpit? Talk about it.
Fly a plane and save lives with a gun on my head by this hijacker. But yeah, that's all I'm doing, and I'm the only responsible one in the plane because I'm the only one who's not high and who's not consumed the drugs and so yeah, the life.
For the sake of this interview, we will call them substances.
Yeah.
Or narcotic
Yeah,
substances.
they are substances.
Yeah,
Yeah,
correct.
absolutely.
Yeah. That's what they are.
things.
So,
She's the only one who's not met with an accident.
met with an
Damn
accident.
things.
Met with an accident.
I did not encounter one.
But nice, I've always thought, and correct me if I'm wrong, Akarsh, that a woman in uniform is just such an elegant, beautiful sight,
Yeah, I mean, elegant, beautiful, grace, these are not words that first come to mind, but we'll stick with those.
You're such a
like
shameless
the
person.
encounter.
He's a great turn on is what he's trying to say.
Yeah,
Women
that's
in
what-
uniform are elegant and beautiful.
This
We'll go
interview
with
is
that.
already headed in a very
He said
hijack
grace. The
kind
first
of
thing you said was grace, man. Like, so, okay.
But I also realized this like very recently, like as recently as yesterday, when I sent the trailer to this friend of mine and he replied, he saw the trailer and the only thing he said was, "You're wearing uniform," and that heart smiley. I was like, how's the trailer though? So,
Somebody tell him that it's not a nurse's uniform.
Yeah.
And there again, the boys in the room will know.
Now we know what Hrishikesh likes.
Boom Baba knows a lot of what I like and what I don't like. But listen, guys, I mean, it's such a refreshing change to see a movie like this, and it could only have happened coming out of that demented head of yours, Akarsh Khurana. I'm a huge fan of dads. Dad is the universal dad. How does it feel like sharing a father with the whole world? Everybody calls Akarsh Khurana dad.
Yeah, I mean, but the implications then are really far-reaching because, I mean, the thing is that, of course, you're related to everyone because everyone calls him dad. And then, I was in school and he did a film called Milan in which he attempts to rape a woman. And, well, that had its implications as well. So, I mean, yeah, we've paid for some of his choices, but no, he's the universal dad, and it's actually quite. I mean, at least everyone knows who we are talking about. So because
Correct.
everyone in the theater is saying dad.
And incidentally, Akarsh Khurana has been on this show so many occasions
Yeah.
that I can't even count.
Yeah, so many times. Yeah.
Whenever you want somebody interesting to speak off on any topic, you just call dad. And he's kind enough to show up and on time. So it's fabulous. So Sumeet, I mean, this is you back in very familiar terrain,
Yes.
except the character is not familiar at all. So you're playing a DJ.
Yes.
Yeah, so what kind of, is he a trance psych DJ or does he play Punjabi music? What kind of a DJ is he?
He's more of house. He's more of a house DJ. So the funny thing is that I'm not too much into the whole DJ, psychedelic, electronic house and those kind
You're
of...
basically into Radio 1 music.
I'm basically into normal Radio
He
1
came and
music.
said, very happy.
Yeah. So and my sister is really big. She's attending parties, she's attending events by DJs and everything. She knows the terms and everything.
This is your younger sister.
My younger sister. So I hung out with her a little bit. Then she took me to a couple of clubs where, some DJ from Palestine is coming, some DJ from Iraq is coming, some DJ from...
It's actually mostly Israeli.
Israel
DJs.
and
You're on the wrong
Amsterdam.
side of the border, actually.
Yeah.
As far as the DJs are concerned. But nevertheless.
So, and I stood there and I was like, yeah, it's nice. I mean, the only thing I don't understand is कि ये गाना कौन सा है और वो गाना कौन सा है, because this is all doing
Yeah.
So how do you say it? Play me that because there are no lyrics. But then I figured out, okay, so this is how this is what happens.
So you got into millennial speak.
Millennial speed. Yeah. I hung out a lot.
How terribly disappointing that you would take your cast and not shoot in a plane.
Yeah.
This was in some academy.
It's a plane.
This is an academy in Dwarka.
It's
The
a
only thing,
plane.
it's not flying, but we are inside.
No,
It is a plane.
it's actually a plane. It's actually a plane that they
Okay, I'm
kind
very
of,
impressed. So they teach people in that.
Yeah, so
plane.
it's an aviation college, and
okay.
there's also training for air hostesses and for kids in terms of plane safety. None of which we followed. So it's actually the body of a plane that's encased in a concrete building.
And you must check out the photographs, the instruction photographs that they put up.
What do they say?
They're very funny. They're like pictures in a nursery.
they're bound to get your attention.
They're
That's
drawings
for
like the
sure.
Navneet publication kind of drawings. Like
The Adarsh Balak and the Adarsh
like,
air hostess.
don't put your hand out of the window.
Yeah,
Like,
those
so-
kind of things. I'm like,
because the window doesn't wasn't open.
in an airplane academy, are we safe?
I take it that when you all have children of that age, you will think twice before sending that child to that.
there, yeah.
No, but then they've been kind. They gave you a set to shoot on, which is
We were actually shooting there for about 3 weeks. We had the run of the place. It really worked for us because we needed a cockpit, we needed a cargo hold, we needed the actual plane that was all available to us. It was May in Delhi, so it was the weather was wonderful, and we were shooting in Dwarka, which is kind of like Fury Road, which is where the souls.
all
of
this is
Delhi
coming
will
across
die.
is incredibly glamorous.
Yeah.
Or lack of glamour, which is why you cast somebody like as beautiful as Sonnalli.
Who was
Yeah.
also
you
not
needed
looking
that
glamorous
grace,
in that
yeah.
heat and that
You
sweaty
needed that. You needed a
Grace,
little bit of
elegance.
Now that's not sexist, is it, Mr. Writer?
If you're saying elegance and grace, it's not. It's making you sound like
Exactly, no? That's what I'm saying. Sense.
But initially, when Sonnalli had come in, then we were all like, because we are all kind of desi and poor. and she looks like, she's
Yeah, actually,
See,
Sonnalli has a
polished
rich look.
person.
She has a rich vibe, yeah.
She has a rich vibe,
But
right?
that's-
Yeah.
She can't go.
Absolutely.
She can't go property hunting.
Yeah.
because she won't get a good deal.
She won't be cast at traffic signal.
But
Yeah,
see,
those kind of
that's the
movies.
thing. See, now I think this is now the platform. So obviously, I came on board of the film much later when they'd already started shooting, and these guys most of them have worked together. So I was the only, and even now I'm like a little but they don't know the reality. I'm actually not at all. I'm more desi. My pet name that my friends call me is Gawar Gaya. Like how more.
Said that.
Okay, so she's basically saying
you're
looks
under
are
the
different.
protected
I'm
acts
not. I'm very
right now.
desi in my choices, in everything.
But still, don't go house hunting yourself.
Yeah.
Send somebody else.
No,
They'll jack up the
have
rates.
and I've got good deals.
We
So,
don't
yeah.
we don't call her Gawar Gaya, we call her Sonnalli.
Slow Nali.
Why
Slow
Snow Nali?
Slow.
Yeah,
Slow
exactly.
Nali. Okay,
Slow
okay.
Nali.
So as in, like, the thing is, she's very quick on the uptake, but then the stuff she says, she feels like she shouldn't have. So when somebody
Real
asked
life
her,
is
that-
much
that-
so
less.
somebody asked her that, how was it being in like a confined space like a cockpit? She said, really tough. Have you seen my legs?
I meant like.
There was like, show.
Like they're
He's
really
a very
long.
mean man. Huh?
Yeah,
I'm very
mean.
surprised that you put up with them for so long.
It's fun.
It's fun, yeah.
That's my entertainment.
Listen, I can't help but, and this is totally on a serious note, I can't help but admire how talented you are, brother.
Come on.
I've been trying to do. I'm good at little else other than the radio and voiceovers. Here are you doing comedy, doing cinema, all kinds of stuff, man.
Theatre.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Theatre. Yeah. I can't wait for Aladdin to come on.
Yeah, thanks so much.
So really, hats off to you and how you managed to straddle all these allied fields together. And you're playing this, from what I can find out in the beginning, at least a very upright kind of guy,
Trust
which
me,
is so
Hrishi,
unmantra.
I'll be very frank with you, Hrishi. I got conned. I got conned into this film. Akarsh Khurana actually came up to me and said that, listen, Mantra, this is a very intense role. This is where you don't need to crack any jokes. You have to be, you're the stud. You're the toughest guy in the film. And I actually went through the entire film in a method.
So that's his casting couch. That's
Yeah,
how
this is what he
this is what he
It's
does.
only recently when I saw the trailer, I realized I'm a part of a comic film. And all throughout last year, in this month when we were shooting in Delhi, I was going around like almost, I got into method acting and all that, man. I'm the hijacker. So even after he said cut, I was looking around, like looking at people like, hey, don't move and everything. So I really thought that maybe I was really doing an intense role. But yeah, turned out to be pretty much all right. Yeah.
And it's wonderful that you're able to pick from this vast pool of theatre actors that you live and breathe in, And this is where you've got to thank, 15, 20 years in the theatre now or less?
As
or
in,
no?
much longer, 18
longer,
years
yeah.
to our own company. AK Virus has been around for 18
Yeah,
years.
you guys were
So-
probably born in the wings or something, man. I mean,
or conceived there.
hi, Dad, are you listening? Yeah. Hello, Dad.
In between
calling,
shots.
calling Dad, calling Akarsh Khurana. Chances are he might be listening because he really listens.
He listens. He's a listener. So no, it was actually a lot of the people that are in the film I've worked with in the theatre, and some of them I've seen in the theatre. I had seen Mantra. Actually, Mantra worked with me on a web series called Boygiri, but I had seen him in Piya Behrupiya, which is a really famous
What
play.
a wonderful play, man.
Wonderful play. And Sumeet is someone that I've done a lot of work with in the theatre, and then we also wrote Tripling together. So I've directed him, I've produced plays he's directed, he's given me work when I've been unemployed. So there's
Are you ever unemployed? I mean, between the theatre and between writing
Gainfully
and
sometimes,
this and that.
yeah. I mean, I'm busy. I'm not earning. So when I'm busy and not earning, he says, Baba, earn some money. So there are a bunch of theatre actors. I mean, besides of course Mantra and Sumeet, there's Kumud Mishra, who's a very senior actor. There's Shiv Subramaniam, again a senior actor. Lots of actors that we met in the theatre. Sarang Sathe. There's some Marathi actors like Amey Wagh and Nipun Dharmadhikari. Amey was just Faster Fene in a very famous Marathi film, and he was in Muramba last year. And he's done a little bit of a cameo, and I think it's because of relationships forged in the theatre. Because I mean, he would not even consider a role as small as the one that he's done because of the wave he's riding right now. And I think that what happens is that so you get a bunch of these theatre people who also have got their own levels of recognition from the other work they've done. I mean, Sumeet done films, he's done web series, he's a pin-up boy of the
He is a pin-up boy now, man.
The internet, yeah. So
yeah, I remember when he first came in years ago, Shivani and him were working on some play, and then the permanent roommates and stuff hadn't happened. And he was just having a regular theatre conversation, and then this guy just exploded. What happened to him? The next time somebody walks into the studio, I will give them respect. You never know where they're going to go. No, but I still gave you respect. No,
you did.
Yeah. So great. They're all just a phone call away. You call them and say there's no money, there's a good script,
There's no food.
producers.
Different discussion altogether.
There are some momos.
No. There's no discounting. I mean, everybody says that about Phantom. Great producers, great stories, great this and that. But don't talk about the money. Don't talk about the money is what I've heard.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyway, so since he has decided to go all diplomatic
hijack
on
the interview.
So Sumeet, this guy is a DJ. There is a brief moment where you're talking to this cricket player in the trailer.
Yes. There is also one cricket player inside the airplane, and who's been,
Tainted.
who's a tainted cricket player.
How true to life.
Yes. Very good actor called Priyanshu. He plays that. He's playing a cricketer who's accused of having done some match fixing, which kind of plays out in a very critical way on the flight.
Yeah. Because Akarsh has written the lines, people are really brutal to him. Like, they say really mean things to him that can really hurt people.
So is this the most fun you've ever had?
Yeah, and while they're talking about this Priyanshu's character and all, I now realize I'm so quiet in these interviews because I don't know what I'll blabber about the script.
So much easier doing Pyar Ka Panchnama. And
it is
dealing with normal people.
No, they are anything but normal, but they're the different kind of abnormal. This is a different kind of abnormal.
Delhi kind of abnormal.
See, because I've been trained there.
This is Indore and Bombay and Bombay kind of abnormal. That is Delhi kind of abnormal. So
and I'll take my Calcutta everywhere. So.
Oh, you're a Kolkata me.
Nothing normal about that.
No, that's nice. I love the city, man. It's such a beautiful city.
The food is great.
Wonderful people, great food and things like that. So is this really the most fun you've had?
Yeah, like not the most, but definitely one of the most.
One of the most.
Yeah, I had a blast, and I'm someone who takes a lot of time. I'm not a very social person. I take a lot of time to open up, but I can be a great observer, and I can entertain myself by just looking at these people. And my days of work was very less, so I just feel bad about the fact that I was not there for the entire party, as we call it, the entire shoot, but just for a few days, which was a lot of fun.
So you didn't manipulate the story enough for her to be in for
No,
more
suddenly,
days.
I mean, we were all staying in the same hotel, and on and off people would be seen in the gym trying gymming, but they were fairly irregular. Then one day Sonnalli walked in her gym clothes, and she was working out, and suddenly I saw everyone's gymming.
Correct.
Like everyone after
Really?
the shoot at like 11 o'clock wants to gym, hoping that Sonnalli is also going to come to the
See,
gym.
that's the reason we cast her.
I was at dinner and there was no one else at dinner.
I wasn't in the gym.
No. I said, look at me. I mean, gym, no. But I was at dinner and there was no one showing up because everyone had gone to put their shorts on and they're walking around with dumbbells and shit. I was like, what is going on?
All such rubbish. None of that happened.
Well done, Sonnalli.
Because Sonnalli was sitting in the room and eating.
You are responsible for keeping the energy up, the passion going in this
the crew
group
together,
of slackers.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And increasing
It's
budget for the food caterers because she would order for separate asparagus for herself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That-
Used to be
so when you guys are
Out
saying
of
bad food,
Zucchini and
मैं तो I
asparagus.
can't even spell that.
No,
So
no, just
मैं तो
asparagus.
zucchini बोला जा रहा था इतनी देर से. But come on, that was.
But I have to give it to them. उन्होंने द्वारका की वो उस
Who is the most chivalrous amongst these men? Who's the one who's extremely
All of
chivalrous?
them.
All of them are chivalrous.
ये तीन तो yeah.
They all fooled you.
Yeah. And I have to be nice, na. They
So
all
you know who her co-star in the film? Who she spent the most time with? Aadhar.
Most annoying.
Akarsh Khurana.
Ask about his chivalry now.
So, I mean, do you get to pull rank? Because I don't. You know, I have a brother in the same business, and more often than not, it's him who pulls rank.
Adhar, along with being an actor, was also my assistant, and he kind of schooled me. He
same
would
problem,
scold me.
dude. I have a brother who's younger,
Yes.
and he takes the piss out of me.
Is the problem.
He screams at me. He thinks I'm good for nothing. We have a lot of bonding to do, you and me.
Similar. It's very similar.
Very similar.
Yeah.
Very similar. But that's another radio show.
That's a different one altogether. That's a censored podcast.
Without giving too much of the story away, Mantramugd.
Yes, Hrishikesh.
What is Hijack about?
Hijack is about these couple of hijackers who are not professional hijackers. They decide to take over a plane and they have no idea why they have an idea about why they're doing it, but none of the people in the plane know why they're doing that. That's why Sumeet Vyas goes ahead and asks them, "Tumhe malum hai, why are you hijacking this plane?" And everybody just gets high on the plane, man. And DJ Rakesh takes over, and it's a party film, man. There's no message in this film. There is nothing that you need to take away. You just need to come into the cinema hall and enjoy yourself and party.
I always get the right guys to do the pitches. What really catches my attention is the fact that you've got the wild, the wacky bunch, and in between you have these very customs kind of guys, you know, and they're all like when you go to the airport and we're getting out of the airport, you have these guys with badges who are just standing there and looking at you very stoically,
Very
and
intimidating.
then they suddenly catch one person from the crowd. You know?
Yeah.
Those kind of guys.
It's always you. Why?
So you know, inspiration from a movie in that sense. I mean, it's just so many worlds colliding together in Hijack.
Yeah, see, I mean, actually, I think a lot of the humor that comes in Hijack is from the fact that everyone's actually really earnest. Okay, they're all actually quite serious about what they're doing. So Sumeet's character, which is a DJ, is actually going through a bit of a personal crisis, and he's trying to get a flight back home because he's got to go and solve some family matter over there. And he, as a result of his desperation, has decided to kind of be a drug mule. And so that's one track. And then there's
Substance mule.
he's a substance mule, fictitious substance mule. And simultaneously there are these four guys who have their own bone to pick with the airline, and they've kind of decided to. So these kind of stories clash, but everyone's actually quite serious about what they're doing till a situation arises where some substances have to be consumed.
Wow.
And that kind of just sets all the plans out of whack, and that's where all the hilarity comes from. But actually everyone's taking themselves fairly seriously, and I think that was what was and when you go to the airport, or when you there's also everyone's kind of got a job to do. Everyone's playing a role, and I think that's what's interesting about the hijackers. They're all playing this role. They need to come across as intimidating, and they're failing miserably. And Sumeet's character needs to shut up and get home, but because he's under the influence, he's not being able to do that. And that's kind of just everything spirals out of control because of that.
So Mile High Club of an entirely different nature.
My club.
Man, I'm just so happy with the Nuclear song. So is it on your phone? I know you listen to Radio 1, but
I
Sumeet,
do.
yeah,
Yes.
it is on your phone. What do you
is
think?
on
What do
my
you think of the Nuclear song?
I love it.
I think it's so trippy. It's amazing.
too
It just
good.
goes. So why Nuclear? I mean, you could have gone with. I know you're making an urban film, a cool film, a young film, but you know, why not Divine or Nazi or Raftar? But why Nuclear in particular?
So, I mean, it really made sense to me that we were getting a DJ on board, somebody who kind of understands this kind of music. I needed it to be a fairly, it goes into the lack of a better word, trippy space. And there's something about the way that Nuclear's music kind of has been working with the youth. And it was something that I really wanted. I wanted him to come because I think Nuclear has actually managed to crack the whole Desi EDM vibe.
Yeah.
I think everybody else kind of alienates you a little bit in terms of the fact that they're aping fairly the West. What he's done is managed to kind of just really, we say ranti, like ghati. There's, and it's looked upon as a bad word. It's not. So, there's a track called Mumbai something which Nuclear has done, which is, I mean, I think it's the best Ganpati track I've heard in the... So he's managed to crack that. And I think that the reason a song like, say, Behka, which has come out, works is because it's actually rooted in a very Indian sense, but it's got all the technique of a super hit EDM song, and he just made sense. I mean, that this is the guy that I wanted. It was a guy who kind of Rakesh's character comes from Delhi, and he's a DJ. Udyan has spent a lot of time in Delhi, Nuclear, and I thought that it would kind of resonate with him. The substances he doesn't use, but he still got music that inspires people too, and so he seemed like the perfect fit. And it was wonderful meeting with him, and he's done 3 songs for the film. One is an existing track of his called Lights, and he's composed 2 tracks for us. So
When you speak of Divine, you maybe should tell them about Slow Cheetah.
Yeah, so we have another rapper. There's a boy called Slow Cheetah who's
Absolutely, a gully gang boy.
Yeah. He's doing really well. He's come out with 2 videos, but at a smaller scale. And I think this is going to really, like, kind of launch him in a pretty big way. He's got a pretty good song called Kripya Dhyan De, which is in the film. And
I love that. Kripya Dhyan De, kursi ki peti baan le, aur dhumrapan na kare. Do they still say dhumrapan na kare? I think they figured out that nobody does it.
Yeah,
Or
man.
they
No,
think-
but they say.
They still do.
नहीं बाथरूम में जाके भी धूम्रपान करना allowed नहीं है.
Allowed.
Because maybe some people still attempt to do
Correct.
that.
Now that's one person who's serious about her training academy.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
None
they
of these
make
guys.
the cast mean
it's a great
glamorous.
song. It's used a lot of the like airline parlance, and it says you're on aboard flight. You are high AF. So
I mouth those lines in the song and I love doing it. कृपया ध्यान दें आप उड़ान संख्या now you are high AF में आपका स्वागत है.
So there's that, and we've got I think one other really novel song that we've got is this, perhaps the first ever electro bhajan.
Yeah, I love that song.
It's a bhajan that's kind of
Prabhuji.
It's called Prabhuji. It's got an EDM.
You sure not going to be trolled on social networking? No.
Looking forward to it.
These
The
are
lyric-
troubled times we live in, my
lyrics are
friend.
really safe. She's singing to the god of airplanes. So,
God of Airplanes.
By the time they get it, it'll be all over. Just a quick couple of ones on other projects. Brother, I'm really looking forward to Aladdin.
Thanks, Hrishi.
And
Yes.
I have to have you back in studio when that happens.
Definitely. Thank you very
what
much.
What do you play, brother?
I think 20th of April is going to be a very special date for me. It's Hijack's releasing, and it's on the same date that Disney India's Aladdin also begins its first season, and it's going to be at NCP. I'm playing the genie on in Aladdin, so it's another ball game. And you're absolutely right, another interview for the same.
Lovely, lovely. Sumeet, what's next on the anvil, man? Are you going to be doing more of your trippy stuff? It's amazing. You've now really become the hero of the millennials. Amazing.
So yeah, I mean, 20th hijack 420 ko hijack aa rahi hai, and I'm really excited about it. Then Akarsh and I were writing the second season for Tripling, which we have to sit on.
Yeah, come on.
So that
In the midst of all this, after
Yeah.
all these promotions, you have to get back to work.
get back to work. So that is happening, and then June we are coming out with Bire the Wedding. That is one
Yeah,
other
yeah,
thing
the
that-
Sonam's movie. Yeah,
Yeah,
is that one?
so-
So what's next for you, man? Are you going back to the theater to do something? Did I tell you that Under the Gypsy Moon was just the most brilliant one that I've seen?
I saw a video where you said that.
Oh my God,
Yeah, so-
guys! Please, all of you in this room.
What is this?
There is this play that you just have to go and see. It is part of Adyam. I hope it comes back. You're gonna keep playing it
Yeah,
again.
we need
and
to
again.
figure out,
Yeah, it's
because it's a
brilliant.
large kind of production.
Oof,
we need to figure out
beautiful.
where we can house it.
Just stellar, just stellar.
20th April is Hijack. 1st June, I have another film releasing.
What's that?
It's called Karwa. It's produced by Ronnie Screwvala and Preeti Gupta. It's got Irfan Khan and Dulquer Salman in it with Mithila.
I like that guy, man. He's so good. Yeah.
So that's releasing on the 1st of June. So till then, it's a pretty hectic kind of.
So Ronnie's quite an interesting guy to work with, isn't it?
Yeah.
With all his diverse experiences
Yeah.
of selling toothbrushes and movies and, everything.
Yeah, and also he's simultaneously doing a lot of stuff right now. So I actually find it quite impressive that he can keep his
Absolutely.
mind on everything.
Yeah.
And he's on point. Like he'll sit with you in a meeting, he knows exactly what you're talking about, and then he moves on to something which is his NGO meeting or a sports meeting, and it's bizarre. I don't know how he manages.
Sonali, what's next for you post hijack?
So we are finishing the last skit of that Navjot Gulati film with Love Films. So Sunny Singh and I are in it, and it's finally a rom-com that I'm doing where I do get the guy, because in Panchnama I never get the guy, in Wedding Pula I never get the guy, in this there is no guy.
There are a lot
So
of
it's a
guys,
love
but
story.
they're of no use.
No use. So yeah, that's what we're almost done with the shoot.
And please forgive us for we know not what we do. Thank you for being very sporting, and like I said, you're the most graceful person in this room, and I stick by it. Thank you for doing this, guys. Love you all. Thank you.
Hrishikesh.
Thank you.
Okay.